Hi, I'm Melanie Luchek, Executive Director of the Gila Watershed Partnership.
And I'm Steve Plath, Manager of the Gila Native Plant Nursery.
And we're going to tell you a little bit more about our Gila Watershed Partnership virtual plant sale and delve into the topic of caring for your native plants. So just take a few steps back. The Gila Watershed Partnership virtual native plant sale is something that we're doing in order to continue selling our plants and continue our wonderfully popular plant sales while complying with the CDC recommendations for hygiene, cleanliness, and social distancing, because these are important measures to all of us to keep our communities safe. But we don't have to isolate ourselves completely, and we don't have to stop everything we're doing. So we are doing our plant sales online this year between now and April 17th. The way it works, just really quick, is you can go to www.gwpaz.org, click on nursery, and you will immediately be taken to a tutorial on where to find information, how to make your order, and when to pick up. So it's a wonderfully simple process. Essentially, you look through our plant guides, you can find the prices, pictures, all kinds of information about the plants we have for sale. You can call or email Julie at julie@gwpaz.org and give her your order. And then pickup of the orders is every Friday between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. here at the Gila Native Plant Nursery. And we will have your order prepackaged for you and all cleaned up according to the CDC guidelines, sanitized and everything, and you don't even need to get out of your car. We will help you load it. We can take your payment again over the phone, through our website, or on site when you pick up your plant with cash, excuse me, cash, check, or credit.
All right, and one thing that we're going to be adding to your orders is a little care sheet here, just to give you some brief information about how to care for your native plants. Now, yes, these are native plants. They do grow in the desert areas and drier areas of our region here in southeast Arizona. But bear in mind that these are grown in a nursery, okay? Nursery, just like if you think of it for children, okay? They've been nurtured, they've been watered, they've been fertilized, they've been cared for because they are growing in containers. Container is not a very natural environment for a plant. Okay, so you're going to treat these, when you get these home, you're going to treat them not unlike you would any other ornamental plant that you purchase from other garden centers or whatever. You're going to have to water them. You're going to have to care for them until you get them in the ground, and then even when you plant them, you're going to want to care for them. You need to teach these kids how to be adults, okay? Many of these plants do have some phenomenal survival mechanisms in the wild, but they're not wild yet. Okay, they're in a pot. They need to be taught to be a wild adult. So what you're going to do is you're going to check for water on these plants. When you get them home, chances are water them in place wherever you're going to put them. Avoid putting them in an uber hot spot initially. You know, when you check for moisture, scratch the soil, weigh the pot, see if it's going to need some moisture. You don't want to let these things completely dry out until you've got them in the ground. And even after you get them in the ground, it may take weeks or months for these plants to figure out they're not in a pot until they grow out into the native soil. So you're going to have to water them. How often to water? That depends on your soil. Do you have sandy soils like I have? You might water more frequently, maybe once, twice, or 3 times a week. If you have heavy clay soils like Melanie has, you might water every once a week, 10 days, 14 days. The only way you're going to know is to get your hands down there and check. This is your best moisture meter, okay? Your hand. That's going to tell you moisture content of your soil and how frequently you're going to need to water. And as it warms up, watering frequency may increase. So bear that in mind. That first year of care, you may need to water them more than you think you would because it's a native plant. I've had numerous people said, yeah, well, it's native. I put it in the ground and I walked away. Unfortunately, they're not quite that easy care just yet. Eventually they will be. When you dig a planting hole, dig it twice the width of the plant, or the root ball, and the same depth as the root ball. The soil that you put back into the backfill doesn't need to have a whole lot of organic component, maybe 10-20%. So you mix a little bit in with that native soil and use that to backfill the hole, tamp the soil down to make sure you get rid of any air pockets, and then build a water ring around the plant to capture that water that you put on it. And what I recommend, watering thoroughly. Okay, I mentioned that in the guide here. Watering thoroughly means you water it to where you fill up that water ring, let it soak in, and then water it again. Double drink your plants. That's going to ensure you get water deep, not just right at the surface. One thing plants hate is wet and dry pockets around their roots. They want it uniformly moist, or as it gradually dries uniformly. But when you water thoroughly. Don't just go out there and throw a couple of drops at the plants. They don't like that. They want to be watered thoroughly. All right, is it dead? Okay, I've had numerous people say, well, I took it home, I planted it, in a few months it was dead. Are you sure it was dead? It wasn't dormant? A lot of these plants have seasons that they grow in. Summer, winter, whatever. We do have winter growers. And so you have to be aware that some of these winter growers are going to look pretty dead during the summer months. They're going to dry out, and but they're alive at the roots. So don't toss them out quite yet. You might want to wait and see how they come out of it. Learn about the plants. Go to the on our sales sheet has links. Learn about where the plants occur in elevation in relation to your garden. Do they grow in exposed rocky spaces? Do they grow in creeks and forested areas? Learn about the plant so it will give you a guide as to how to better care for them. And then also, if you have any questions, my email address is on our web page. Please feel free to email me anytime if you have any questions about gardening, or caring for your plant. I can give you some whatever extra tips I have. And yeah, enjoy this time with the little crisis we have here. Hopefully short-lived. Shouldn't stop anybody from enjoying their garden, enjoying the flowers. It's spring. Get outdoors, get in the sun and the fresh air. That's the best thing for our spirits anyway. And enjoy the plants as they get into their growth mode. All right, thank you very much.